Hey everybody, and welcome to Fury's Life. Officially day one. So, got this guy last night, picked him up from the Philly airport, Southern Country Kennels down in Mississippi, and he's been nothing but perfect so far. He's one of the more rare pups that I've had. Slept through the entire night. Never had a pup to do that. Granted, it was only from 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock, but did awesome. And haven't had an issue since. I mean, he's been stellar. And today, it's about 8 o'clock in the morning. We're gonna go through our first session. We just ran Hunter. And this is weird. So this is Fury's Life. Day one. So day one, everybody, for anyone who just got their pup from the breeder, and it's their first time out in the training field, it's all going to be about exposure, okay? When it's in the house, that's a different story. We can cover that when we're in the house, but on the training field, it's exposure, okay? You guys can see behind me, Remington 870 to my right, got some decoys behind me. I've got my gun case that the 870 was in. We got some geese flying over. We got a bunch of cars and trucks going around. We got guys setting up on the clay range to the right, shooting the Mara. We got Hunter that was just out. Had a bunch of scent around. She just did her session. A lot of factors in a short little area here. Exposure's all around us, okay? Whether we know it or not, we just gotta make it so that it fits our gun dog's life, okay? Everyone says, well, oh, how can I make it apply? Sometimes exposure is hard for my pup, or hard for me to apply to my pup's life or my schedule. It's only hard if you make it that way, okay? I always tell people that because they always tell me it's the hardest part of that stage. I say, well, 99% of their problems later in life is because you messed up at this part, okay? And I'm gonna try and help you as best I can. So I always tell people, throw out everything, including the kitchen sink, okay? The best thing you can do is expose them to everything and anything, okay? We may be here on this grass field today, but tomorrow, we may be over there by the pond. Maybe a little bit warmer tomorrow. We may, get our feet wet in the water. Today we're gonna expose them to decoys, the gun, the smell of the gun, the sound of the chamber opening up and down, the sound of the slide. I have my duck call with me. We'll do a little bit of wailing. The geese are going over, so we hear the clucks. So that's what we're going to expose our pup to today. And by that time, guys, it may just be a 20-minute session or a 15-minute session. Our pup's going to be done. So let's do a quick little walkthrough down the aisle here, and we'll get to it. Come on, pup. Come on, pup. And we got a ton of geese flying over. Your biggest friend at this stage in their life, they got a ton of energy. 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna win on the stamina end of burning them out. You know, they're not gonna understand what you're gonna ask of them. They're not there yet. You gotta burn them mentally, okay? I can already tell just by his demeanor. He's like, man, there's so much stimulation going on. I don't know what to do. He's tired. He's gonna be out after this, okay? Which is good. That means he's learning. That means our exposure is doing what it's supposed to do, okay? So, let's go over here with the shotgun. Hey, this is Johnny. We want him to get the smell of the carbon inside of the chamber. Good boy. Hey, there you go. We don't want him to be afraid of it. We want him to be okay with it. Because remember, how many pups do we know of that are gun shy or shot shy later on, you know? We want him to be okay with this. Good boy. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Check it out. Yeah, good boy. All right. Yeah. Good dog. You know, this is day 1 that he's with me. You know, it hasn't even been a full day. Good boy. All right, Fury. Good boy. And I'm already pulling out weapons, okay? Manipulating the weapon systems, making noises with them. Hunter. So we want to expose them to that already. Okay. We want them to understand the noises of it. Now he may want to climb over me, but at the same time we're exposing him. Good boy. Oh, you want to eat that? You trying to eat that? That's not good. Everyone always says, you know, hey, is my pup really understanding what I'm doing, you know? And that what they describe to me is always what I'm doing right here. You know, they say, you know, I'm trying to do this stuff, but he's just eating grass. He's just trying to jump on me. He's not really paying attention to what I'm doing. They are. I wish I had a good analogy for it. That's how puppies' cognition, or cognitive rates, that's how they retain, okay? Right, Bubba? That's how they keep that mental picture or that sound, you know. I may be manipulating the slide right here, or making the sound at the towel click, you know, while he's pulling on the sling, okay, we're getting that sound of the slide. We're exposing him to it so that when he's at the line, you know, however many weeks, however many months down the road when we're actually doing drills, this doesn't come to a surprise to him. Good boy, Fury. Good boy. All right. Good boy. You know? And this is all part of the process, okay? But we want to nip these red zone parts, these heavy, I don't know what you want to call them, maybe the negative points, the points where a lot of trainers get sent dogs, these trouble areas where people might not pay a lot of attention to when they get a pup. This is where we want to hit them real quick and real early, you know. We want to expose our pup to them. Like I said, day 1, already working on a gun. You know, day 2, you know, maybe week 1, we'll go and we'll touch on water. We will, you know, maybe start shooting some poppers off beginning of week 2. Simple stuff like that, you know. They shoot clays tomorrow. That's the nice thing about this field is that we get the residual noise without having to fire a shot. What are you doing, Bubba? You're trying to eat my crop. So they get shot exposure without having to not necessarily waste, but use any of our own supplies. Oh, how rad. You can see he's just drained. You can see his eyes, he is out. So, hopefully you guys are starting to understand what I'm trying to explain here, but this is going to be the next, you know, couple months up until we start obedience around, you know, end of month 4, certainly throughout month 5. That's when I like to begin it, okay? We'll start pulling out bumpers, the puppy-sized Dokins. Every day, make it a purpose to bring out a new item within your arsenal, so to speak, within your own personal account. Even if it doesn't have to do with duck hunting or puppy training, just bring it out, okay? If you have a friend or a buddy, bring them out, you know, maybe once a week. Somebody different, just to expose them. If they have a friendly dog, bring them on as well. You know, maybe not right away, because you still want to build that bond between you and the pup. But bring them on as well, because you don't want to have a dog that can't be worked with as well. But nonetheless, guys, if you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. I think we're gonna have one hell of a gun dog here. That ride back was something else from Philly to the Lehigh Valley last night. So nothing but joy and happiness at the household and the kennel. So very excited for things to come. And I'm happy for all you watching and that can join me on this journey. Happy to have you with us. So thanks for joining us for Fury's Life Day 1. And many more. We'll see you on the next one.
Hey, what are you eating my food for? What are you eating my food for? What are you eating my food for? What are you eating my food for?